How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Fight for the Fallen. I gotta say it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was The Elite, which are Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds, in a 10-man tag team elimination match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Elite went over because Kenny Omega lastly eliminated Hangman Page with the One-Winged Angel. Match 2, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz. That was a great match, but the ending to it, FTR went over cause Dax Harwood pinned Ortiz with the Brainbuster. Match 3, it was Lance Archer versus Hikuleo for the IWGP United States title. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Lance Archer went over and retained the IWGP United States title with the Blackout. Match 4, it was Christian Cage and the Match 4, it was Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express versus Match 4, it was Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Hardy Family Office, which are Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and Angelico. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express went over cause Christian Cage pinned Mark Quinn with the Frog Splash. Well, after the match, as Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt, were celebrating, and as they were leaving the ring, the Blade popped out of nowhere and knocked Christian Cage out with a punch in the face with brass knuckles. And then the Blade went up on stage and Matt Hardy came out and Matt Hardy and the Blade stood tall on stage, and the Jurassic Express were looking on. Well, the Jurassic Express were tending to Christian Cage, and the Jurassic Express helped Christian Cage up and helped him backstage and everything after Matt Hardy and the Blade left and everything, which that was cool. Match 5, it was Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Fire Thunder Driver. And match 6, which was the main event, it was Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage in a no disqualification match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Chris Jericho went over with the Judas Effect. But after the match, MJF came out on stage with the microphone and was talking about how he's known to hold a grudge and everything, and MJF was talking about how Chris Jericho is MJF came out after the match. MJF came on stage with a microphone, and MJF was talking about how he what Chris Jericho is going to do for Labor 3, and and MJF was saying that Chris Jericho has to hit a move off the top rope to win. And MJF was talking about how he's known to hold a grudge and everything, and MJF rolled the footage of 2 years ago on AEW Dynamite when Chris Jericho told MJF that his parents were probably fucking while he was beating up Juventud Guerrera years ago in WCW, and MJF came out as a sprout and everything, and then MJF was asking Chris Jericho who Juventud Guerrera was and everything, and then Chris Jericho told MJF to Google it. Well, the footage was done rolling, so MJF informed Chris Jericho that he'd done his research, and next week for Labor 3, Chris Jericho's opponent will be Juventud Guerrera. Which, that was cool. Now, besides all that, Alex Marvez interviewed Pac, and Alex Marvez was pretty much telling Pac that this was meant for all of the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Alex Abrahantes. But Pac informed Alex Marvez that Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo had a late flight and they're on their way and everything. Well, Andrade El Idolo, Chavo Guerrero Jr., and Andrade El Idolo's personal assistant came along, and Chavo Guerrero Jr. was saying to Pac that he already had Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo a limo to arrive to the arena and everything, and then Andrade El Idolo was talking shit towards Pac and was talking about how saying that if Pac don't do nothing for the Lucha Brothers, he's going to and everything. Well, Andrade El Idolo, Chavo Guerrero Jr., and Andrade El Idolo's personal assistant left while Pac was looking on and everything, which that was cool. Taz was on a podium out by the ring and Taz introduced the new FTW champion Ricky Starks, and before Taz come on the podium, well, after Taz was on the podium, which he still remained there, a marching band was out by the ring, and Taz introduced Ricky Starks, and so Ricky Starks and Hook came out, and Ricky Starks, well, Taz and Ricky Starks had the marching band play. Well, Taz had the marching band play Ricky Starks' music and everything, which they did. And so Ricky Starks and Hook came down to the ring, and Hook was holding the FTW title and a bouquet of roses, while Ricky Starks got on the microphone and was talking shit about Brian Cage, saying that he wasn't a team player and that he was selfish and this, that, and the third, and talked about how Powerhouse Hobbs couldn't make it because he's been busy recruiting and everything. And then Ricky Starks kept talking more shit about Brian Cage and everything. And then Brian Cage came out, and as Brian Cage came out, Brian Cage attacked the trombone player with a clothesline, and then attacked the drummer boy with a clothesline. Then Brian Cage broke the drum over the drummer boy's head, and then Brian Cage took the trombone, got in the ring, and Ricky Starks dared Brian Cage not to break the trombone, but Brian Cage broke the trombone anyway. And then Ricky Starks, Ricky Starks threw the bouquet of roses at Brian Cage and skedaddled out of the ring, and so Ricky Starks and Hook retreated while Brian Cage was still in the ring and Taz was looking on and everything. Well, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks had a stare down as well and everything, which that was cool. Hiroshi Tanahashi cut a promo, and Hiroshi Tanahashi was pretty much saying in his promo that whoever wins the IWGP United States title match between Lance Archer versus Hikuleo, he was going to be the next person to challenge for the IWGP United States title. And Hiroshi Tanahashi was saying that he's won several titles in his career, but he's never won the IWGP United States title, and he wants to add that to his repertoire and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker and Rebel, and Tony Schiavone was pretty much, Tony Schiavone pretty much had Britt Baker give the fans an update on her hand and everything, and Britt Baker was pretty much saying that Nyla Rose did prove that she breaks bitches, and that Britt Baker herself was a hard bitch to break because she was still standing, and told Nyla Rose to never forget she tapped her ass out last week, even with a broken hand. And Britt Baker was also talking about how all the women on the AEW roster were gunning after her, and was saying how Rebel has been hurt and everything. And Britt Baker was talking about how she needed to get a bodyguard to make sure nobody gets at her and everything. And Britt Baker was saying that was pretty much saying about the bodyguard and everything. And then Britt Baker ended the segment, in the interview segment, saying, I'm yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone made an announcement that AEW Rampage will be coming to Chicago, Illinois on August 20th. That was cool. And Tony Schiavone made an announcement that AEW Rampage will have a special episode called The First Dance, and it's going to be on Friday, August 20th in Chicago, Illinois. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Sting and Darby Allin, and Alex Marvez was pretty much informing Darby Allin that AEW Rampage special episode, The First Dance, will be in Chicago, Illinois and everything. And Darby Allin was saying that he's been around so many men. Well, Darby Allin was pretty much saying that he's been to Chicago, Illinois, and he's been around a bunch of men that thought they were the greatest thing in the world and everything, and then talked about how if you come to AEW, you'll be the best, and talked about how to even and to prove that you're the best in the world and everything, which that was cool. Alex Marvez attempted to interview Cody Rhodes. Well, Alex Marvez did interview Cody Rhodes, informing him about his match with Malachi Black next week on AEW Dynamite and everything. But Cody Rhodes, before he even got the chance to talk, Malachi Black attacked Cody Rhodes and was beating the shit out of him, and Cody Rhodes got a little bit of offense. Well, Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black, they were backstage the whole time, but they went out on the stage and were fighting, and Malachi Black was beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes, and Malachi Black attacked Cody Rhodes with the Black Mass, and then Jerry Lynn, one of the coaches for AEW, coupled to a few security guards, Fuego del Sol, and Top Flight, which are Dante and Darius Martin, came out to tend to Cody Rhodes, and as they were tending to Cody Rhodes, Malachi Black attacked Fuego del Sol with the Black Mass and everything, which that was cool. Miro cut a promo talking about how everyone has come up short and trying to get the AEW TNT title off of him, and how they've also come short in beating him and everything. And Miro was talking about how Lee Johnson was a great athlete, but next week God's favorite champion, which is himself, is going to demolish Lee Johnson and retain the AEW TNT title and everything. That was cool. Nick Gage cut a promo talking about how he was the deathmatch legend, and how he was going to destroy Chris Jericho and to make sure he don't get past Labor 2, and talked about how he was going to destroy Chris Jericho to make sure he doesn't walk again and everything. And Nick Gage was going on about how he's been through pain and how he's put people through pain and everything as well, which that was cool. And Jon Moxley cut a promo talking about how since he's no longer the IWGP United States champion, he's not heard nothing from New Japan, and like his phone calls are getting ignored, his contracts haven't been mailed to him and everything. And then Jon Moxley was talking about how he watched the Olympics and everything the other night, and talked about how Hiroshi Tanahashi was trying to weasel his way into fighting Lance Archer for the IWGP United States title and everything. And then Jon Moxley was talking about how Hiroshi Tanahashi was a disgrace, because Jon Moxley was saying that Hiroshi Tanahashi was saying to Hiroshi Tanahashi that if he wants to end up like Minoru Suzuki, Yuji Nagata, and everybody that's came across him in New Japan Pro Wrestling, that he was signing his death warrant and everything, which that was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Don Callis done guest commentary along with, well, hold on. Besides the matches and the segments and promos and everything, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Don Callis done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the 10-man elimination tag team match between the Elite versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order. Don Callis done great on guest commentary, and MJF done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, MJF done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage in the no disqualification match. MJF done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between the Elite versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order in the 10-man elimination tag team match. Paul Turner refereed the match between FTR versus Proud and Powerful. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Lance Archer versus Hikuleo for the IWGP United States title. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express versus the Hardy Family Office. Paul Turner refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage in the no disqualification match. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now the match card for next week's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event Homecoming. It's going to be Miro versus Lee Johnson for the match card for next week's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event Homecoming. It's going to be Miro versus Lee Johnson for the AEW TNT title. Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black. Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera. And the stipulation is Chris Jericho has to hit a move off the top rope to win the match. Christian Cage versus The Blade. And The Bunny versus Layla Hirsch in an NWA Women's Championship Eliminator match. So all the matches. So the match card that's been announced for next week's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's Homecoming episode looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it and everything. And also, I was there last night at the All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite special event Fight for the Fallen. I was there live. And I gotta tell you, I loved every single bit of it. Like, that was awesome. Like, me and my best friend, we traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina at the Bojangles Coliseum to see that event. To see Fight for the Fallen. AEW Dynamite's special event Fight for the Fallen. Like I said, I loved it. It was awesome from start to finish. Like, the matches, the promos, the segments, everything was awesome. But the only downfall about attending those TV tapings are you can't hear the commentary in person. You can only hear them on TV, which sucks. But it is what it is. But like I said, I had a blast last night. Like, I called off work to go because I already got tickets for me and my best friend. Like I said, it was fucking awesome. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Fight for the Fallen. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.